Shotguns have always been a contentious spot in any video game we've all played, especially in the finals from how oppressive the Cerberus was back in Season 6. The DB currently, the SA since the beginning of the game's existence has always been a top pick for all these players that consider themselves pro players, right? But one that sticks out in my mind is the model 1887. It just doesn't feel like another shotgun that you would pick up and just use like any other shotgun. And when I think of a shotgun, I think of the double barrel. I don't think of the model. And there is one very, very good reason why. And it's not just because I'm saying it either. Now, of course, it's a great reason why the model feels different because I am saying it. I mean, my word is gold after all. It's because of the choke that the model has. No other shotgun has its range, and that's where its identity is stemming from. The range of this weapon is very, very nice when you're thinking about a shotgun, because no other shotgun has the range it has. The amount of damage you can put out in a reasonable amount of time is very, very good. But when it comes to closer range encounters, that's when the shotgun doesn't really feel like a shotgun either. It feels like the repeater. And maybe it's just because they're both lever action weapons. The model is a lever action shotgun. The repeater is a lever action repeating rifle. Both are really cool. I like them both because of that. But it's also because of how good your aim has to be when it comes to the model. The shotgun does a lot of damage, but its choke is so tight, you don't have a lot of room for error. And that's the kind of mentality I had with this shotgun, kind of similar to the Matter, how it takes a lot of skill when it comes to your precision shots to actually get a decent amount of damage off. Sure, you can get some damage off when it's like the crosshair is barely over an enemy, but are you milking it for all it's worth? No, you're not. And, man, there's a reason why I was putting off this weapon for so long. I'm just not very good with it. At least it's what I thought. But hey, I'm just happy that Delta over here did give me the suggestion to do the model because I had a lot of fun with it. And if you guys do have other weapons you want me to go ahead and try out, review, whatever the hell I do on this channel, go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. Now back in my Matter video, I came to the conclusion that the Matter doesn't reward the player a lot for those precision shots you do take at a further range. And that's the opposite of what the model does. The model rewards you big time for those precision shots. Not just at range, but also in close quarters. The model is basically the Matter. Maybe it's the other way around because the model, I believe, was here before the Matter. But you know what? I use the Matter more, and I used it before I used the model, so I don't really care. Now that is because of the class viability that both these weapons have to work with, right? The light class has a lot less health. That's where the glass cannon mentality for this class does come into place, right? Better weapons, but worse health. That's how it works. So on paper, you completely forget about the class. The Matter is better than the model. And I say that with all my heart, really. I mean, I'm not saying that just because I like the Matter, but I'm saying that because it's true. Like, the sniper is better than the repeater. The sniper is better than the deagles. The sniper 2 shots heavies. Do the deagles 2 shot heavies? I don't think so. There's a reason why lights do have the best weapons in the game, as long as DB isn't a problem. Oh, wait a minute. But now you're thinking to yourself, Luke, if you think the Matter is so good, why is it worse off compared to the model? Both weapons give me the same feeling when I use them. They're both longer range weapons because of how tight both the chokes are. When it comes to the Matter shotgun, I feel like the dispersion is a little too loose. If the dispersion or the choke were just a little bit tighter, then I could see where that long range capabilities could come into place a lot more effectively, just like how the model is being handled, right? I'm not saying the model is good, like super good to where it can contend with the top elo players, right? But don't you think for a second that the model 1887 is a bad weapon? I thought it was a bad weapon going into this video, and guess what? My tune is 100% changed. This isn't an overpowered weapon. The model, like the Matter, they're both high-valued weapons for people who know how to aim a weapon properly. It's not a spray and pray weapon, but it's also not like the Cerberus or the double barrel. You can get semi-consistent damage just by moving the crosshair relatively close to an enemy. Now, because of the choke of this weapon, it's longer range compared to other shotguns. A lot of people see that as a bad thing. I do not. I think it's healthy to have shotguns that are further ranges. And guys, I'm not talking about like the pump shotgun from OG Fortnite, okay? That would be ridiculous. But I am talking about weapons that take more skill, but are still shotguns. I want every gun type, every subgenre of weapons in the game, right, to have a skill factor to it. Now, you can have some noob-friendly weapons like the flamethrower or the double barrel shotgun, weapons that are super easy to pick up and just dominate the field with, but there should be other weapons that have higher skill ceilings to them that do better than the just grab-and-go shotguns or grab-and-go ARs, grab-and-go whatever weapons that dominate already. You should have weapons like the Matter, like the model, that do better in the right hands than people who run the Cerberus or the double barrel. And that's what I think these two weapons do, especially the model, because, well, I think it's in a really good spot right now. Because if you have good aim, you will absolutely destroy people with this thing. So I'm trying my best to wrap my head around why people think this thing needs a buff. I mean, I think this thing is perfectly fine the way it is, right? Maybe that's just my relatively new player brain still ramping up, right? I mean, I started playing during the Cerberus meta, right, in Season 6, and I thought of shotguns as, ooh, they're all overpowered, right? Then they got nerfed, and then I played with the model all the way into the latter part of Season 8, and I think it's really, really good. I think it's a lot of fun. It's not overtuned, it's not ridiculously underbalanced like some people are saying. It does its job well where it's a longer range shotgun. And I think that's really cool. I like that a lot. So I am curious to hear the people who are making the model, the people who think it's overpowered, it's underpowered. Why? Why do you guys think that? I think it's perfectly fine the way it is. I could go through a lot of Reddit pages and see all those gooners, absolute freaks of nature, just argue like through their neckbeards about why the model is bad or good. But I like my community better, and I want you guys to tell me instead. So please give me some reasonings here. The only thing I can consider it being a bad weapon is simply the reload. No matter how much I like actually destroying people with this gun, the reload is absolutely atrocious. This reload is the worst thing I have ever had the displeasure of pressing R2, okay guys? The worst thing about this reload is when you still have some shells left inside the magazine with air quotes there, the reload takes forever to actually start up. So the animation, flip one of the access shells up into the air and then you put it back in, which takes, like, I kid you not, like 2 seconds for that animation to go down. And then that's when you start loading in some shells. Why does it take 2 full seconds to start reloading? Why? It's not like Embark wants you to completely run away from a fight just to reload and then come back with a couple shells later. At least they give you 2 shells at a time instead of just 1 like what they do with a KS after a reload. Holy crap, that is so annoying. But the KS isn't nearly as bad as the model. I mean, that goes without saying, guys. The model has the worst reload in the game, and I'm so sorry that I thought the BFR had the worst reload until I actually used this thing. I apologize to all the people I frustrated with. I don't even know what that video was. Just trust me on that one. I am so sorry. Which is why the best tip I can actually give you guys is when you run out of ammo, keep loading in 1 shell at a time, because I promise you, it's going to be a lot quicker for you just to keep reloading 1 shell bang, 1 shell bang, 1 shell bang when you have no ammo left in the magazine thingy Majigit has going on. Just keep reloading 1 shell, shoot, 1 shell, shoot. Just keep doing that until you get the entire squad wipe, basically. Unless you get some downtime where you can actually get some more ammo in the thing. If you're in the heat of the moment, just keep doing that over and over again. That's going to save you a lot more time, especially compared to reloading when there's more shells inside the gun. The reload for that needs to be retuned or redone or something. It is so bad. The best way you can do it is when you're flipping the access shell out, just make that count for 1. Just make that count for a whole shell. I know that breaks the laws of physics, but in this case it should, okay guys? The reload is what's bad about it. But in practice, the shotgun is fantastic. It's a lot of fun. But the reload, dude, I'm actually going to crash out just by talking about the reload. And if you guys are going to say that's the bad thing about the weapon in the comment section, that's why it needs a buff or something, then I agree with you. But in practice, when you have a full magazine, you just start spewing bullets out of that fire mouth or whatever the term is, metal mouth, I don't even know anymore. It does good damage. If you have good aim, it does really good damage. It's just like the matter in that situation. If you have good aim, you're going to do well with this gun. If you're on the opposite side of the aisle where you're saying that it's too overpowered because of the range it does have, that it starts stepping on the toes of other weapons like assault rifles, then you're just weird for saying that in the first place. I don't like you. There's a reason why it's long range. It's a part of its identity. And it's kind of what I tried to understand after the V9S video I did. I compared 2 different weapons that are both pistols, and because they're both pistols, I thought they're pretty similar in that we're treading on each other's toes because of, well, the 93R is obviously better than the V9S. I thought they were similar. They're both pistols, so why wouldn't I? But then I got comments, and Little Gooby, even though he has a terrible take on the Mine video, he did open my eyes a little bit more when it came to the V9S, saying that it's more of a M11 competitor than it is a 93R competitor. And I appreciate him for saying that to me, because I would still be in the dark if it wasn't for that. My thinking is just leave the model alone except for the reload. It feels really good to use. I think it's pretty much perfect the way it is when it comes to balancing until the reload. Dude, I'm sorry. I said the reload like 7 times. Give me a reload counter here. I said it so many times because it is the worst part of the weapon, like by far. Everything else is perfectly fine. I don't see the arguments for overpowered, underpowered. It was probably overpowered in the, like way back when. I know there are some veterans of the game who absolutely hate the model because of it being so overpowered, but hey, pretty much every shotgun has been meta at one time or another, except for the Matter, actually, which is pretty funny. It hasn't been tuned once, which is hilarious. But Cerberus has been meta. The SA has been meta since the beginning of time. I have a buddy who actually thinks the KS is going to be meta next season, which is interesting. I'm wondering if that's going to happen or not. The double barrel is a casual meta and maybe even a high elo meta. I have no clue. Like, everyone hates shotguns for one aspect or another, but me personally, if it feels fun for me and everyone else isn't using it because they think it's bad, that's perfect. I think that's awesome. Because that means I'm the only one using it, and I am the only one having fun, and I'm ruining everyone else's fun with the weapon I'm having fun with. That made sense, I promise you guys. But you know what even makes more sense to do? You guys got this far into the video. That means you like it. That means you press a sub and like button. If not, you guys are banned. But yeah, if you guys feel so inclined, go ahead and like, sub, share the video, do all that YouTube thingamajigs that people keep asking to do in the middle of the video so they get more subscribers to inflate their numbers. That's not me. If you like the video, subscribe, and then you see more of me. I'm pretty awesome, if you haven't noticed already. That's pretty much all I had for you guys. You guys have a good one.